Shalom. I want to start off by saying Kal Halal Yamla, Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham Rekakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us the truth, and who rule well. Peace and citations unto the Hakim, that is spread around the four corners of the earth, spreading this word in sincerity and in truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect. I'm the brother Kotas Absayan, coming back through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, with another lesson, with another video, and Lord willing, this video is edifying. Gone. So today I want to speak about how the stock market was in 2020. As you can see in front of me, is from Wiki. I googled the stock market of 2020, and this is what I got: a crash. And the article reads, it reads on Wikipedia, the 2020 stock market crash, also referred to as the CV crash, because I'm not able to say that name out loud, because they're coming after the men of the Lord, the men that speak truth, because YouTube is censoring people. Channels are being terminated, strikes are being given, so I'm not gonna try to pronounce that word, so I'm just gonna say CV crash. And the CV correction was a major and sudden global stock market crash that began on 20th of February 20th, 2020. And that's that numerology for you all, because these people, they work with numbers. So it's basically 20, and February is the second month, so 22, and then 2020, and ended on the 7th of April. Gone. So this is a chart of the crash, and then it states the date, 20 February of 2020 till the 7th of April. A type: stock market crash, cause CV induced market instability, corporate debt bubble, recession fears. Ooh, yeah, that's the that's the money right there, because that's what the scriptures say. Let's go to that real quick. Is the book of Sirach 12, verse 3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, you see the fear that we just read? Recession fears. Gone. So in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and what is the keeper of the house? In this scripture, the keeper of the house, what it means is the stock market, the people that watch the house. Because if you go into that word economy, this is what it reads in the Atom Online, the study of the root of words. This is economy 1530. Household management, from Latin oikonomia, source of French economy, Spanish economia, German economy, etc. From Greek oikonomia, meaning household management, thrift. From oikonomos, manager, steward. From oikos, house, abode, dwelling. Gone. You see, so it speaks about the keepers of the house, the people that manage the house. Whose house? It's the house of Esau, because this is Esau's kingdom right now. So you can read the rest. I'm not going to go through all the point that's been made. So the keepers of the house is the stock market. It is the economic system. So this is Sirach 12, verse 3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few. Gone. And the grinding is ceasing right now, because the laborers are few. People are being laid off, put in, They're being fired because businesses are tumbling and falling. Gone. And the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. Gone. So the ones that are supposed to be not procrastinating, it's like the ones that are supposed to be telling you what the stock is going to be like in the future. That's what it basically means to look through the window, to see the future. So the ones that are, how do you call it? The ones that are making a prediction, that's the word I was looking for. So the ones that are looking through the windows, their eyes is darkened because they can't say what is going to happen. You see? Verse 4, and the doors shall be shut in the streets. And that's what you're seeing with the CV right now. All the doors are shut. Every store is shut that is not of a necessity. If it's not about food or water or, all these other clubs and your bread and circus is gone right now. You see? So these people got your focus on the CV. Gone. So every door shall be shut in the street, and that's what's happening. You already saw it in New York, And when the sound of the grinding is low, you don't hear people working. It's not busy like how it used to be, because that's the sound of the grinding. People working, people being busy. Because that's what you used to have when you have a millstone. When it grinds the grains, then it's the sound of something being busy. And he shall rise up, and the voice of the bird. Gone. That alarm, when you gotta wake up and go to work. And all the daughters of music shall be brought low. The daughters of music. There's no Beyonce shows right now. There's no Nicki Minaj shows right now. All these shows have been abruptly stopped. Gone. So let's go back. So recession fears, market, liquidity, crisis, mass hysteria, and the outcome is stock market instability, stock market bubble, and the CV recession. See, they're even speaking about a recession, The crash only caused a short-lived bear market, and in April, global stocks market. So like in April, global stock markets re-entered a bull market, which continued through December 2020. The crash signaled the beginning of the CV recession. So they're already calling it the recession. Like in the time of, 2008, there also was a recession. This is what it reads. The CV recession is a severe global economic crisis which has caused a recession in some nations and other depression. And this is all what's happening right before a war, Let's go into that word recession. In economics, a recession is a business cycle it's like a contraction when there is a general decline in economic activity. You see, so the economic activity was almost at a cease, it was almost at a halt. So it was going down, it was declining, you see. So you can Google this and read this further. But the point I want to make is that when the dollar loses its worth, when everything, the house of Esau is crashing, the economic system, that's the start of something else. And what is that something else? That something else is a civil war, lawlessness. Because that's when people are not going to look for their money as their power structure, as, okay, now I have power to do what I will. What I want to buy, I could get what I want to buy. No. If the dollar is nothing, if the money, if the economic system of Esau is nothing, then the lawlessness is going to come. So let's get another scripture, which is in the book of Zephaniah. 1 verse 11. Gone. This is Zephaniah 1 verse 11. Howl ye, inhabitants of Maktesh, for all the merchant people are cut down. All they that bear silver are cut off. Gone. So if you look up Maktesh, Maktesh is basically a merchant city. Let's see, Maktesh. Which in the Lashawan Kodash is Makatash, which means a mortar, a deep hollow, a hollow or valley, evidently in the greater Jerusalem area. God. It doesn't say it here, actually, but it is a merchant city in Jerusalem. Salakia for not being able to pull that up. Let me try it again. See, it says a place in Jerusalem. Mortar. Hollow place. Let me see if I could Google it. Bear with me for a second. Maktesh Ramon. This is a different place. That's a peak of a mountain. Gone. But if I find the information, I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna post it in the description box, so don't worry about that. But the point is, the scripture says, "Howl ye inhabitants of Maktesh," meaning that you're gonna be in distress. You know, the merchants that are in this merchant city are gonna be in distress. For all the merchant people are cut off. You see, in that time, nobody's gonna want to do business with America. You know, when the economic system has collapsed from America, all they that bear silver are cut off. So the ones that have money, the money, it's worth nothing. You know, it's gonna be lawlessness, and that's gonna usher in martial law. You see, because the martial law that is coming after the stock market crash. You see? Let's go into Zechariah 14 verse 14. For I will gather all, Zechariah 14 verse 2. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rivaled. Gone. So Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to gather all the nations to fight against the Israelites, and the city shall be taken. Gone. So the city is going to be on lockdown. You're not going to go anywhere without the soldiers knowing it. The house is rivaled, because that's the civil unrest. That's what's going to be happening at that time. They're going to have people bum rushing houses, and the women ravished, gone. Because if a woman doesn't have a man to protect her in that day, she's gonna be ravished. And half of the city shall go forth into captivity, meaning FEMA camps. That's the captivity, Federal Emergency Management Agency. That's what the word FEMA stands for. So the people that are not, how do you call it? That are not complying, they're gonna go to FEMA camps, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off of the city. You see, so this shows you that there's gonna be a civil unrest, and that's gonna be needed to usher in the martial law, because that's how this devil works. The devil is speaking about the white man, the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. So he is structurally breaking down his own house. He's causing this social distancing, the CV, and that's crashing the stock market. So people are gonna. You already saw what happened when they shut down all the stores. People are going crazy to buy stuff, but when the money is not worth anything, then people are just gonna plunder these stores like they did it already in the beginning of last year. You see, but they're gonna plunder it even worse because the money is not gonna be worth anything. Everybody's gonna try to survive. Gone. So going to the next scripture, which is in 2nd Ezra. Second Ezra 6. Let me start at verse 23. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man hear it, they shall be suddenly afraid. That's speaking about the alarms. You know, people are gonna go crazy when they hear that, because then they know that the troops are gonna come in. Verse 24. At that time shall friends fight one another like enemies, and the earth shall stand still. And the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Gone. So everything is gonna be in a standstill. People are gonna be hiding. People are gonna be fighting. There's gonna be a total chaos in that time. You see? And that's what they're gonna use to usher in the martial law. This lawlessness that is gonna come through the crashing of the stock market. You see? And all these things need to come to pass because it's written in the book. It's written in the Bible. Let's also go to Jeremiah. Jeremiah 50. Verse 16. Cut off the sower from Babylon, and him that handled the sickle in the time of harvest, for fear of the oppressing sword. They shall turn every one to his people, and they shall flee every one to his own land. Gone. So the people that went into America, because Babylon is America, so the people that went to America because of that American dream, when they see these things like martial law and the oppressing sword, because that's the oppressing sword, you know, that when the men are walking down the streets in the tanks with these suits on, with their guns, with their armor, you know, then people are gonna be scared. They're just gonna leave everything and drop, because this is not the dream. This is not what they wanted. They didn't sign up for this shit, you know. So that's when the fear kicks in, and that's when they're just gonna go to their country again. If the Chinese that went to America for the American dream, the Elamites, so like the Chinese or the Moabites, the Elamites, the so-called Hindus, Indian people that are there, that are making money, they are all gonna go back to their countries. You see? because that's the oppressing sword. That's what's gonna scare these people, that martial law. Let's go to the book of Nahum 3, verse 2. The noise of a whip, and the noise of the rattling of the wheels, and the prancing horses, and the jumping chariots. The horseman lifted up both the bright sword and the glittering spear, and there is a multitude of slain, and a great number of carcasses. You see, these people with their oppressing sword, which is the military might, which is the martial law that they're going to implement in their own backyard in America. The multitude of the slain is going to be many. So people are going to be scared of these people because they're going to be as madmen, as the scripture says. They're going to slay many because they think that they're in the power seat, because they are the oppressing sword. People are going to fear them. And a great number of carcasses, and there is none, and there is none end of their corpses. They stumble upon their corpses. Gone. So let's close it off with this. God. This is the book of 2nd Ezra 16, verse 71. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. God. So the military law, the martial law that's going to be in effect at that time, they're going to be like madmen, because when they go to these foreign countries, what do? They rape, rob, murder, plunder, steal all the things that these people have. They rape the women, they kill the husbands. They're like madmen when they're in these foreign countries, and that's how they're going to be also. That's how it's going to be like in the time when martial law is in America. You see? They shall be like madmen, sparing none. So they're going to shoot everything that moves, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. So they're gonna come after the men of the Lord. They're gonna spoil them, meaning they're gonna rob the things that are of value. You see? Gone. So with that, I hope this video was edifying, and I want to say Kal Halal Yamla Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Reka Kodash Shalom Akim.